Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk on the one video game that got me into PC gaming, and I just recently played it, and I'm like, bro, this is the most empty game that I have ever played. But the video game is called DayZ. For those that don't know, DayZ is a zombie survival game where pretty much you're just going around the map finding supplies. That's the thing too. The map isn't no small map. Like, they have you going around a decent sized map, and people are like, oh, you gotta make your story and stuff. Fam, you know, the thing is this. And that's what I'm going to be mainly talking about is that, so I posted a clip of me playing that game, and I was talking about like how empty the game is and how it needed a story mode and all this other stuff. People were reaching out to me talking about, you make your own story. That's how the game's supposed to be played. Look, my thing is this. It's no disrespect to DayZ. I think DayZ, it's always going to be a classic video game, but at the same time, it's still not going to change my mind about the experience that I've had with that game. Every time when I play that game, it's always running around, finding some loot that seem like it doesn't even exist. Like, you're trying to find what? Fam, you can build cars in that game, and I have yet to find anything that can put me in a position where I can build. Hold on for a second. Let me just make sure that that is the case. Can you build cars in DayZ? Let's just see. DayZ vehicle guide. So they do have building a car. So yeah, they do have it where you can build or repair cars in that game. And all I found is throughout like the times of me playing that game, I have found Windex, I found pumpkins, I found rotten food, I found some clothes, I'll find weapons but no ammo but no weapons. What I think that's about it, and that's throughout the years of me playing. Oh, and then there was a time where I found a barn, and I jumped down from, not like, it wasn't like a great height, I had to say, like, I'm trying to think of a table, or, so, okay, actually, you know what, so if you guys watch, like, wrestling or boxing or something like that, so you know, like, the corner of the rings, the turnbuckle, I guess, in wrestling terms and stuff, I don't know if they call it that in all other sports that involves those, like, four corner rings, but anyways, but no, the turnbuckle area, so you know how, like, the height of it, and then you'll see even at times wrestlers, they will jump down or slam down or whatever. Fam, the barn, so they had like this upper level that you can walk on, and then they had this lower level, and the lower level and the upper level, like, that was the height of it, was probably the size of those corners of the rings and stuff, the turnbuckles, that last one and stuff, right? I jumped down and broke. It was either both or one of my legs. If I don't know, I can't remember if I ever recorded that on video, but yeah, I'm thinking to myself, fam, are you serious? Like, I did jumps like this when I was a kid, and I'm like, I haven't did no jumps like that. Actually, you know, well, no. Have I? Because I feel like that, no, actually, you know what, no. There is this GameStops where it was, yeah, it was a decent height and stuff. I didn't break both my legs, though. You know, when I jumped down, like, there was this wall, like, when you're going to this GameStops, because I would go in from, it wasn't like no back door, but how I would walk up to the GameStops, like, I would have to walk in at it from an angle, which would be from behind, and there would be this wall. Yes, I could have just used the sidewalk and just walked straight down. I used the sidewalk when I would be leaving up out the place and stuff. I don't know what's wrong with me, man, but anyways, I would jump down and land like on both my legs, and I would feel no pain whatsoever. So yeah, that's why I was all like, fam, I don't know what's going on with this game, but I'm like, that's some weird stuff, man. So, but anyways, but no, it was like, you know, I looked past all that stuff, and then recently I'm playing the game. They have me out in this area where I'm like, okay, there's really nothing to do. There ain't really no houses. Like, all the houses either have nothing or they just have like some like little things here and there. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, how do people play this game for hours on end and they're having fun with it? Now, don't get me wrong, DayZ, I think that if done the right way, I think it could have been a good game. I think if they would have added an offline mode, and then added a story mode to the offline mode, had it where there was more ways to loot, more areas to explore, like, fam, and then that's the thing too, where I feel like that will probably be my story in the game, is just trying to explore the whole map. But my thing is this, I'm like, if that's the case, then I'm like, okay, at least even you guys could have even have had some stuff where the people could have made their own missions and their own stories and stuff. Because there's the one game, I think it's called like Black One Blood Brother. I think that's the name of that game. Hold on for a second. Let me just make sure that that is the name of the game. Hold on, because I did. Yeah, Black One Blood Brothers. So they have an option in there where you can actually make your own story, and or you can go about doing missions. And I did. I made me a mission in that game where it was pretty much like, yeah, you just go to an area. I think I was like, I killed some guys, collected some intel, and left. That was about it and stuff. But overall, though, I'm like, oh, okay. So they have it where you can create characters. You can and then have them involved in the game and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I thought that was a decent thing, and I'm thinking to myself, fam, for as long as DayZ, that game's been out for over 10 years. Like, that's a game that's been out. It's been out for a while. I was about to say, I know I ain't got this game still because I uninstalled it, but yeah, they claim it came out in December 18, or not 18, but December 2018. But no, it's definitely been out a lot. Well, I guess the standalone edition, yeah, but well, I feel like didn't the standalone edition come out long before that? Like, this game wasn't no early access game. Huh, I guess not. But yeah, they'll make it seem like in the trailer that you're gonna be, exploring all these different areas and stuff. Every time when I played this game, they always put me out in some country area that I'm like, fam, this don't look no different than the last time I was playing this game, and it was some years ago. So that's why I was like, yeah, bro, I don't know what it is with DayZ, but it's like, man, that's a game where it lacks so much. But like I was saying, they should have added an offline mode, added a story mode to the offline mode. They could have added some PvP stuff, not like that PvP where it's like, oh, you just join the server, and then if you see somebody, you shoot and kill them. No, I'm saying like PvE, where it could have been some team deathmatch stuff. Had it where it was like they could have even added some battle royale things in there, some extraction. There's so many different things that they could have added to this game. But I'm like, that's the one thing that I think that they should have done, was add a story mode. So at least then that you could have explored the whole map, seen everything that you need to see, because I'm pretty sure that there's areas for as long as I have owned that game. Hold on for a second. Do they have like a thing of how long I've owned? Well, yeah, they say that the game, so they say the release date came out in 2018, but yet I reviewed the game in 2015. So that's how I knew that this game's been out a lot longer than 2018. I was about to say, nah, bro, this game came out long before that. So, but anyways, but a game that's been out for over 11 years and it don't have nothing in it besides go into a server and just walk around. And then what tripped me out was that I talked about this and people are like, oh, you gotta make your own story. My thing is this, right? If that's the case, then it needs to be an actual story in the game, like an actual story mode. But I'm sitting here doing the stream. Yeah, I guess and that's the thing. I feel like with DayZ, it's games like that you gotta play with friends. Like, if you play the game solo, it's gonna be boring. But if you play it with friends, yeah, it'll probably, I remember that's actually how I really got into playing that game, because a friend of mine's, he had a gaming PC. And then he went, bought DayZ, was playing it. Me and him was over at his house. And yeah, and I was all like, that was probably the funnest moment. It wasn't even on no content creating stuff, but it was just an unrecorded moment of me over at my friend's house as he was playing the game. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I remember he ate a spoiled banana, I believe, or it was either spoiled or rotten. But anyways, he ate some bad food in that game and passed out. And I remember we were just kind of sitting there for the longest, waiting for him to regain consciousness, and his character never did. So I think we ended up just leaving his house, and I think we went to the mall or something, because it was like, nah, bro, this is crazy. But anyways, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, versus adding a story into the game where there's characters, there's NPCs, like there's, bad guys where it's, like there's characters that you can help out, and then there's bad guys that's trying to kill you. I'm saying, like, bro, what could have possibly went wrong with that? And what trips me out is that there are so many different games that do, in a way, kind of play out like DayZ, where they have more content than DayZ. I think, I don't know if Rust, I'll have to play Rust again, but I know when I see people playing Rust, at least I'm trying to think, does that game have missions? I have to check again. But I feel like another game, dang, Vane, actually. Vane, I think, did they have missions? Dang, it's like, it's games that I'm like, I feel like I played a lot of, well, at least with Vane, they did have it where looting in there was a lot easier. I will say that much about Vane, was that, yeah, you could find loot a lot. You can actually even make your character, blind, kind of. Like, they did have it where it was like a thing where he was like I think nearsighted is when you can see things up close, but you just can't see stuff far away. And, yeah, you could do that to your character. Like, there's these, like, character traits that you can select, and I'm thinking to myself, there's games like that. Like, hold on for a second. Let's just see some of the survival. Let's just go through, like, some of the survival games that are at, well, see, maybe if it was like open world, because yeah, they're showing like extraction shooters and stuff. But I guess, like, okay, a game I can think of where it is open world and they do have like missions and stuff that I have been playing a lot recently. Again, not being sponsored, not being paid to say this, but Gray Zone Warfare, and that's a game that came out like 2 years ago. So I'm like, fam, if a game that just came out 2 years ago, we're meaning that they don't have DayZ money, they don't have the amount of money that you guys have made. But my thing is this. And on top of that, too, let's just see how many players that DayZ has. Because I'm like, well, I know that there's, like, I think because people still be playing the, whatchamacallit, the mod and stuff. But you got 53,000 people playing that game. That's kind of wild to me. I'm like, but let's see the mod. There's only 13 people playing the mod. That's wild. I guess, man. I just probably people that's like, you know what? I have Arma 2. So yeah, I'm like, I just find that insane how I was like, that game, it was a mod at one point. But I'm like, okay, just like how you guys made it into a standalone video game, that's how you should have been going about ideas with that game. And then what's crazy is that they come out with these DLCs, and I'm like, fam, you guys need to be coming out with some story modes. You need to be coming out with some stuff where it's like, okay, now I have a reason to play this game. But every time when there's like some new DayZ content, I'm not interested. You know, and it's crazy. This was the game that got me into PC gaming. Like, I remember when, cause the mod, so Arma 2, I believe that game came out like, what was it, 2009 or something like that? I feel like that might have been when that game came out. Hold on for a second. There was a free game on Steam and I was adding it to my, library and stuff. But anyways, okay. So Arma 2, that game came out. You can't, the DayZ mod requires both. You can't buy, oh, no, you can. Okay, I'm like, bro, you can't buy, this game? I was about to say, that's crazy. But anyways, can you not buy this game? Okay, but it does say that the game came out in 2009. All right, 2009, fast forward. I think the, mod, where's the mod at? And it's funny how, like, wait a minute, at the request of Armin is unlisted on Steam. It will not appear in search. But it's right here. That's crazy. But anyways, the mod had came out in 2013. So and this was at the time like when Walking Dead was making its name for itself. So I'm looking for a Walking Dead simulator. But at the same time, I know people were like, oh, Walking Dead, they had their own story. Yeah, because they had writers. They had people actually writing out. My thing is this. Do you think you would have watched that show if it was just those guys walking around and they had no idea where they were going? And they spent, my thing is this. Okay, so I've been playing this game for 11 years now, right? Do you think you guys will watch 11 years of characters eating spoiled bananas, drinking Windex? I'm trying to think of some other things. Oh, eating some spoiled pumpkin. No, actually, my friend, he's the one that ate the spoiled banana. But we just gonna throw his situation in there too. But and then barely finding any ammo and barely seeing any other people, and sometimes not even seeing zombies in the game. Like this last game that I had played, yeah, I did see quite a few different zombies. But do you guys think that you will watch that show, The Walking Dead, if they were just aimlessly walking around? No, like none of the Negan stuff, none of the governor stuff, none of Herschel's farm, none of that. It's just a show of Rick and his crew just walking around. Hopefully they find something in the house and things. I think they did kind of do something like that in that show, but wasn't that episode when they were getting ready to eat dog food? And I think it was Carl. Wasn't it Carl? He was getting ready to eat some, and then Rick either he like snatched it out of his hand or did something, but how long was that scene? And do you think that if that one scene was dragged out in a whole show, do you think you would watch it? I guarantee and I promise you, and I am willing to bet money you would not watch that show for no 11 years. So why should I play a video game with no content for 11 years? That's why I'm like, man, people, look, I understand that you like this game. I understand that you want to defend this game with every bit of power that you have within you. But at the same time, if a game ain't got no content, the game ain't gonna be fun, bro. It's not. I'm sorry to break that news to you. If you're having fun with the game, cool. More power to you. But when you have people like me, where it's like a lot of different other open world games that I play, Grand Theft Auto, Saints Row. I'm trying to think. There's this I think this new game that came out, Samson. That's an open world game, but they have missions. I'm trying to think of some other open world games that they got. Hold on for a second. Let's see, DayZ. Okay, I misspelled DayZ. I put two D's. I did it again. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead. Open world. See what games pop up. Okay, well, okay. I really don't want to mention this game just because of how I just don't. I ain't trying to give this game any credit, and I don't want people to go out and buy this game just because I mentioned it. But anyways, this game, at one point in time, it was good. But currently, right now, yeah, the game, it's something is wrong with it. But anyways, the Division 2, even the Division 1. But they, let's see, some Forza Horizon 5, the Crew Motorfest, Ghost Recon, Breakpoint, Pal World. Let's see some other games. Did 7 Days to Die have missions? I don't think it had missions. But I think it might have a little bit more to do in there than DayZ and stuff. But anyways, oh yeah, there's this new game that just recently came out called Windrose, where yeah, they have missions in there. Let's see what else. What are some other games? I'm trying to look, like, you know, because I was like, I got carried away. I was like, look at that games that I could have been playing, like some new games and stuff. But anyways, but no, let's The Forest. That game has a story to it. What else? Even Euro Truck Simulator, that game, it might not have a story to it, but they at least have missions that you can do. And that game came out around the same time as Arma 2. It actually came out a year before. I don't know what the game was before, but yeah, they have missions that you could do in there, even though I don't really particularly care for this game either. But Elden Ring, they have missions in there. Red Dead Redemption 2, Cyberpunk 2077. What are some other games? That was like games in the top rated section. Let's see, top sellers. Crimson Desert, I think that game got some story stuff in it. No Man's Sky, that game got some story stuff in it. Where Winds Meet. What else? Death Stranding. Oh, they got Gray Zone Warfare. Okay, cool. Fallout. I'm saying there's all these different games that are open world that has a story to it. I'm trying to think. I can't even say that it's rare. I don't think I've played no other game where it's just they just put you out in the middle of nowhere and they're like, hey, survive, like create your own story. DayZ is the only game I think I played where it has that, you know. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service, and peace.